So, this will be an introduction to morphology. Morphology, the dramatic soap opera of language, where words get chopped up into little pieces called morphemes. And each piece has its dirty little secret. Morphemes are the smallest units of meanings, the building blocks that turn happy into unhappiness, faster than your mood at the end of a long week. You think words are innocent? Think again. They're harboring these tiny bits of meaning that will betray you when you least suspect it. Meet the characters. Free versus bound morphemes. Let's introduce our cast. Free morphemes are independent types. They don't need anyone. Think of happy, walking through life all by itself, smiling, feeling fulfilled. Then you've got bound morphemes. Clingy, needy, can't stand alone. Prefixes like un and suffixes like ness can't go solo. They latch onto free morphemes like they're trying to fill a void. Example, happy. Free morpheme because it's just fine on its own. Then unhappy. Add an uh, a bound morpheme and suddenly happiness is dead. Morpheme breaks down negation, happy, free morpheme. Your mood on a Sunday morning. Love story turned tragic. Once upon a time, happy was in a relationship with a free morpheme, life. But then Un showed up, dark, mysterious, bringing negation and chaos. The relationship took a dive. Now you've got unhappy. But wait, enter Ness. Enter Ness, the queen of turning everything into an abstract concept. And suddenly you've got unhappiness, a full-blown tragedy. Example breakdown. Unhappiness, unnegation, happy frame, and Ness bound abstract noun. Morphine, meaning un, says nope, no happiness here. Happy is still clinging to the hope of being positive. Ness turns the whole thing into a deep existential crisis. Her unhappiness consumed her. Translation: unmurdered happy, and Ness made sure the body was never found. The power struggle, agree versus disagree. Now let's talk about agree. It starts as a free morpheme, a good-natured word, optimistic, helpful, but in every love story there is a villain. Enter this, the bound morpheme that just loves to ruin everything. Disagree. This negation plus agree, free. Now agree isn't just neutral, it's actively not agreeing. It's like when someone says, let's agree to disagree, and we're just really just agreeing to hate each other silently. Then, just to make sure no one gets along, Ment shows up to formalize the chaos, turning it all into a big disagreement. The phrase, the disagreement, lingered between them. Translation, they could have agreed, but this ruined the vibe. And Ment made it sound official, like a breakup with the paperwork. Inflection, the minor drama. Let's not forget inflection morphemes. The ones who aren't here for drama, just to quietly make things plural. Or adjust tense. They're like the boring side characters in the soap opera. Add S to cat, and suddenly you've got cats. No betrayal here, just numbers. Phrase, she has cats. Translation, no more drama, just more furballs. Conclusion: morphemes, the real villains of language. So that's morphology, the breaking down of words into their emotional baggage. Free morphemes try to stand alone, but bound morphemes sneak in, bring negation, abstraction, and destruction. Morphemes are always there, lurking, waiting to turn love into unhappiness and harmony into disagreement. So that's morphology.